Hi everybody, here on Let's Fish TV, we fish for everything, all the species in the southern half of the country, including bass, catfish, white bass, and stripers. Today we fish for crappie, one of my favorite species to fish for. And we're going to be taking you to a lake you've most likely never heard of or been to before, but it's a great crappie destination in the Magnolia state of Mississippi. I'm glad you're with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now. That is a fish. Oh man, look at this.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southeast region every week.
Oh my gosh. Oh, look at that. Woo!
This is Let's Fish.
Hi everyone, and welcome to today's version of Let's Fish TV. One of my greatest joys in doing this job is getting to travel all over the southern part of the United States and show you fishing destinations where you've never been before, but where you might want to go. And we've got just such a place to show you in the next half hour. In fact, there it is out there right now. This is a lake in central Mississippi called Lake Oktibbeha. It is located about 10 miles north of Meridian, Mississippi, and it's one of the best crappie destinations in the southern half of the state. So we hope to get out there and show you around and show you a few of these crappie specimens. One of my good buddies, Mike Giles, is an outdoor writer. He lives here on Lake Oktibbeha. He showed us a few spots to try on the map, so I've never been out there. We're gonna give it a shot. While we're out doing that, we're taking you around your local region for this week's fishing reports from lakes, rivers, and bays. Right where you live, we'll give you both the freshwater and the saltwater reports from our insider reporters. So right now, we're gonna get the Mercury Pro XS launched into Lake Oktibbeha, Mississippi. Next time you see me, I hope to be doing battle with one of those crappie. Right now, let's get this started back at the studio in your weekend planner.
Thanks so much for joining us on Let's Fish TV. The Saloner tables are predicting fair game fish activity both days this weekend. Peak game fish activity begins early around 5:06 Saturday and 6:11 Sunday morning. Evening action will begin around 5:46 on Saturday and 6:50 Sunday evening. Depending on your local area, expect the sun to rise around 7:23 and set at 7:13. The weekend will feature a moon with 35% visibility. Don't go anywhere. We've got fishing reports from across the area on the way. Plus, I'll return with the 2016 Bass Master of the Year, Gerald Swindle, to answer this week's Ask the Pro question.
There's one. Oh, that's a good one. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good crappie. Come up here. Good crappie. Come up here. Get my net. All right. There we go. We got a start. We've made it out on the lake, everybody. On Oktibbeha. And there is a specimen of a crappie right there. How about that? That's a good way to get it started. Little crappie jig. And that's a black crappie. See by the black mottled spots down its side. What a beautiful specimen of a fish right there. We're not keeping them today, but boy, would that fillet up and fry up in my fry daddy. But we're on the road and gonna put them back. Well, let me get you some information about Oktibbeha Lake. As I mentioned, it's about 10 minutes north of Meridian, Mississippi, in the middle part of the state. It's a Corps of Engineers lake. It's a flood control lake. The lake is about 4,000 surface acres at normal pool level, but it stays below pool level a lot of the year. It's pretty murky water. It's got about 25 feet of water down in front of the dam, but most of the lake is about 8 feet deep and even shallower than that. The lake is loaded with crappie. It's got a tremendous population of crappie, a lot of shad bait fish in here for them to feed on. It's very different from all the famous crappie lakes up in Crappie Corridor up on I-55 here in Mississippi, Grenada, Enid, and Sardis. Those are the big trophy crappie lakes. You don't catch nearly as many up there. This is a numbers crappie lake. You come catch your limit here. people catching their limit easily around here almost all times of the year. That's a good solid crappie to start it. Great population here and a great crappie destination in Mississippi. I'll explain much more about this lake, but right now I'm going to pull right back up on that stump and see if I can catch another one.
Hey folks, it's time for your Carolinas Report, brought to you by Crazy Sister Marina, the leader in water sports along the Grand Strand. We want you to live like a local. We want you to come down and enjoy the fall. It is the best time of the year, and we've got everything you need to live like a local when you're in town. Visit crazysister.com. More information. Let's talk freshwater this week. And you know, it's that time of the year. Start getting those cooler mornings. The water temperature's starting to cool. Those bass start feeding up. Look for schools of bait. Whether you're on Murray, Watery, Hartwell, I don't care. You start looking for schools of bait, you're going to find some big numbers of bass. This is your time. Start getting out that square bill, that deep diving crankbait. Look for those suspended schools of bait offshore and start using those electronics. There's a reason we're seeing all the pros go to it. Use those electronics, find you some fish offshore, quit beating the bank, and go find some good numbers of largemouth this time of the year on your lake as well. This has been your Carolinas Report. Remember, fish smarter, not harder, and keep your chaos organized.
There you got it. He got it. He got it. Feels like a good one. Come up. Oh, big one. Real big one. Big one. Oh, there we go. Atta baby. Look at this dude. Woo! You know, I did all that popping off about Grenada and Sardis and Enid being the place where you catch a big one. But look at this right here. Holy cow. I caught a monster. That's probably a close to 2-pound class crappie right there. It's not a Grenada 3-pounder, but that's an Oktibbeha 2-pounder with no problem. Look at the big old mouth on that dude. That is something else. Well, we're letting them go back today. You can come catch this one if you'd like. Right here, you want to catch that one? I'm gonna put him right back in there and let you go catch him. All right, let me explain to you about the flood control thing. The Corps of Engineers keeps the water level here low most of the year, and here's why. There's a lot of low-lying land below the dam here between here and the city of Meridian that floods very easily. So they have to keep the water level real low here in case they get a big rain, it can catch it and keep that flooding from happening. Consequently, most of the shoreline cover stays on dry ground most of the year here. And what that means is most of the cover that holds the crappie and the bass that are in here is offshore stuff. It's all these stump fields and along the creek channel, the Oktibbeha Creek channel, there's a lot of broken off cypress trees, bodark trees, hardwood trees. That's what holds the fish. That's the thing about the Corps of Engineers holding this level low. Now in the summertime, they'll let it catch water and fill up. And in the summertime, you can go around the shoreline and have a good chance to catch a few bass in the cover that's there. Oktibbeha, folks, loaded with crappie, and you can even catch a big one like that. Yeah!
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lose, Feel the Difference, Mamba Boats, Ride with Pride, Strike King, Tie One On, Glacier Glove, stay outdoors longer with our gloves, hats, and shades. Fishing Specialties, makers of the premier mount assembly for live sonar.
That's a white crappie. So we've got black ones and white ones. The white ones have the kind of vertical bars running down their sides. I've gotten my active target transducer basically pointed right at the thickest part of the stump, right in there. Winds tend, there, got him. There we go, big one. That worked. Easy, darling. Easy, baby. Good one. Good one. Good one. There we go. Ha ha. That's a white crappie. So we've got black ones and white ones. The white ones have the kind of vertical bars running down their sides. White ones typically get just a little bit bigger than black ones, but that would be a good 12-inch eating size crappie right there. That's that little Slabalicious. It's got a little paddle tail on the back of it, and it goes back and forth like that as it swims along, which is perfect for what I'm doing. The principle is that I'm using as light a weight as I can get away with, and I want it to go down real slowly. And when I raise up on my rod tip, I just want it to swim up just a little, and then I'm holding it perfectly steady and letting it swing back toward the boat. This is all based on movement right here. I've got this bait swimming. A lot of folks like to spider rig, get straight up and down over the top of them, or find them with this active target and get straight down over them, but I love pitching out there about maybe 15 to 20 feet. Gently just swimming that bait over the top of all that stuff down there.
Hey y'all, this is my favorite part of the show, the Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia Coastal Fishing Report. This segment is brought to you by me, Captain Patrick Garmison with Ugly Fishing. Visit my website at uglyfishing.com and you can check out all my booking, see availability right there online. You can also go on the homepage and save a little money on some products called Pure Flats Fishing. They're the creator of the slick lure. Slick lure, this is the little slick in the lemon color. Been really good for flounder here recently on the Alabama Gulf Coast. Pairing this thing with a 3/8 ounce jig head, working the bottoms, especially heavy current. This thing has been really good. Along the Mississippi coast, I spoke to Kyle Johnson. He said that the bite is picking up over there for speckled trout. The white shrimp are starting to push back into the marsh. Tim Cole with Spartina Adventures said that the bite is picking up with some of these cooler temperatures. He said the flounder, trout, and rat reds, along with some puppy drum, with the quality fish coming on the eye strike jigs with Z-Man green lantern color in the minnows, and then the fish bites dirty boxer. He said that's been the quality, those have been producing the quality fish. Hey y'all, thanks for stopping in, checking out this report, and give these guides an opportunity to take y'all out and show you a good time on the water. The words of my buddies from the Speckled Truth, y'all keep what you need and leave the rest. God bless, guys.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lowrance, America's #1 fish finder, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, Alabama. Plan or book your fishing charter at orangebeach.com. Motor Guides Tour Pro with GPS anchor, powered by Passion. Coastline Trailers, built by fishermen for fishermen.
Come in here, buddy. Get in my net. Get in my net, you big old white crappie. Yeah. I've got one stump sitting by itself out here. It's broken off. It's got some roots around it. I can clearly see it. And I've got one big old crappie sitting right in the middle of it, if I can get that dude to come out and bite. He's laying right under the root wad. There we go. Got him. I got him to bite. Come in here, buddy. Get in my net. Get in my net, you big old white crappie. Yeah. Ha 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 ha. Welcome back, everybody. We're on Lake Oktibbeha, just a little bit north of Meridian, Mississippi today, and we are catching us a passel of those good-sized fat slabs right there. Catching them on a jig pole. My Wally Marshall Pro Target rod by Lew's. Got a little spinning reel on it, little Strike King Slabalicious, and I'm going along here targeting individual stumps off the main river channel. Now this river channel snakes right down the middle of the lake and goes back and forth and makes a lot of bends and arches. And what I'm finding are these big stumps, and I think they're either boat arcs or cypress stumps, but they're great big. They're probably 5-6 feet in diameter with big root systems coming out from under them. And these crappie are laying right around the roots. They're probably in 6 or 7 feet of water, but the channel falls off into about 14 or so. So they're perfectly positioned for what I'm trying to do, and I can see these fish, and you saw, I could see that fish on my Lowrance active target, and I could see him laying under those roots, and I finally got that jig right by him, got him to bite it, boom, he bit it. So it's a lot of fun out here. Water's kind of stained, got bright sunny day. The fish, that's gonna push the fish down into these stumps and roots, and it's perfect for targeting these fish. You can catch them just by spider rigging down through here. If you don't have the right electronics, you can just spider rig your way down through here real slow. You can catch some that way. I see other boats doing that stuff.
Hey fishing friends, welcome back. This is your Alabama, Tennessee, and Mississippi fishing report. So I hope you guys have been catching a lot of fish. I hope you guys are enjoying this nice cooler weather, enjoying some football, and catching a lot of bass. So let's go ahead, let's get started. Let's go over to Mississippi. Lake Grenada is fishing really good. The bass and the crappie are biting. They're starting to get up shallow. The cooler mornings, cooler temperatures, the water temperature is starting to drop. Now let's go to Alabama. Pickwick Lake is fishing really good. The current's rolling, the water's cooling off, it's chilly. Those bass and smallmouth are starting to bite. Get on those, they're starting to get on those bars, they're starting to chase bait, starting to go up shallow and chase bait. So if you guys mock shad colors like swim jig, spinner bait, let's go over to Carroll County Lake. Carroll County Lake is fishing really good in Tennessee. You guys need to get those big straight tail worms on that brush. You guys can go over there, throw big glide baits. They are absolutely munching the glide baits. They're starting to come up to the top, they're starting to chase bait, so you get those small top waters, crankbaits, spinner baits. Now, I hope you guys are having fun. Hope you guys are enjoying this cooler weather, tight lines, and stay safe.
See if I can get one more good one out of that treetop. Hung it. Oh, got it loose. Now watch, want to get it right when it came loose. There you go. Good one, good one. See, I got hung, and then I popped it loose. And a lot of times that's right when you'll get a bite, is when it comes off that brush. If that fish is laying down in that treetop, under a limb or right in the thickest part of it, and if you get hung on it, if you'll take it easy, don't start ripping it and trying to break the limb or anything. If you'll just gently give it some little pops of your rod tip, if you can get it to just hop loose and stay right there, a lot of times that crappie laying under that limb will run out there and grab it. It'll trigger a strike. That movement when you're snagged, just that little bit of movement will trigger that fish to kind of be curious. And then as soon as it comes loose, he thinks it's getting away, and he'll run out there and grab it before he has a chance to think about it. Just another nice crappie. That's another little tip about getting snagged. You're gonna snag, and you're gonna lose some. As I mentioned, I'm doing something I don't normally do, but I'm tying my jig head directly to my braided line. You can get away with that when the water's a little murky. Normally I put a fluorocarbon leader on there, but I'm just using a straight braid and going straight to the jig head. And that way I can be a little more aggressive if I have to, and I can straighten that hook out, bend it back into place, and I don't have to break off so much. So just a couple little keys. Those little things make life a lot easier, and you catch a lot more fish if you just do those couple of extra little things. Catch you some crappie. Catch more crappie. Put them in your live well. I should be keeping these, but I'm not. Lake Oktibbeha is a cool place, and it is loaded.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter for new fishing videos every day. And download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors, making it easier than ever to gear up and have fun out there. Visit Mississippi. Wanderers welcome. Power Pole. Total Boat Control. Balls Out. Made in the USA. Heavy-duty mounts for your fish finders.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's get right to your Ask the Pro question for this week. Otto wants to know, what is the craziest thing that you have ever seen at a boat ramp? For an answer, we asked 2016 Bassmaster Angler of the Year, Gerald Swindle.
Man, I could write a book on the craziest things I've ever seen at a boat ramp. I've seen them shooting up heroin, smoking meth. I've seen a car in the water. I've seen domestic violence. I've seen boat wrecks, natural light cans, domestic violence, and an arrest. And one time I seen the first 48 in Birmingham. So outside of that, it's pretty normal for me at a boat ramp.
Thanks so much, Gerald. If you want some help from one of the pros, simply go to letsfishtv.com, follow that Ask the Pro link to submit your question.
Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
We are back at the boat ramp, and it's time for the Right Stuff, brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right gear if you want to catch these crappie. It begins with the Lew's Wally Marshall Pro Target 10-foot long crappie rod. This is a medium light action. It is perfect for doing this. I had it spooled up with Strike King Tour braided line, and I did something unusual. I tied my jig head directly to the braided line because of the murky watercolor without a leader. Now the bait that we used is the Strike King Mr. Crappie Slabalicious. There's what it looks like on the jig head, and here's what it looks like in the package if you'd like to look for it on your store shelf. Another important piece of gear that I always have several of in the boat with me is the Academy H2O Express terminal tackle boxes. They are the perfect box for storing your jig heads, your hooks, your weights, your swivels, everything perfectly organized. You can separate it into any number of small compartments to fit your needs. It's got a rubber O-ring seal around the outside to keep water and moisture out. It seals very securely. You can stack several of these on top of each other. You can check those out at your local Academy Sports and Outdoors. And finally, you never see me fishing without my Glacier Glove Isla Mirada fingerless fishing gloves. They are the perfect fishing glove. I can handle fish and tie lures with no problem because they're fingerless. They've got some leather on the palms to help me grip. They come in several colors, and most importantly, they keep the water, the fish scales, and the harmful rays of the sun off my hands. Check out the Glacier Glove Isla Mirada fingerless fishing gloves, the website you see on your screen. Mike Krzyzewski is arguably one of the top 1 or 2 most successful college basketball coaches in the history of the sport. He recently retired after 42 years, and during his last home game, he grabbed the microphone and said this to the crowd: "No one can ever say basketball was more important than my family, because I love my family more than I love basketball." Mike proved that you can do what you love and still give your family the priority they deserve. Someday, you're going to stop doing that thing that occupies the majority of your time, but your family will be your family until you die, and you should treat them accordingly. If you'd like to get lots more information about Lake Oktibbeha here in Mississippi, or any of the other fantastic Mississippi fishing destinations, you can get that at the Visit Mississippi website, the web address you see on your screen. You're gonna love it fishing in this state. From Lake Oktibbeha until next week, I'm Barry Stokes saying let's fish, everybody. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.